Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday with Pastor Dan. Glad to have you here with me. Change in my plan. I had a little funeral to do today, so maybe skip on pass on the leadership thing, but maybe not. Guess it's kind of about being leadership or sort of like that. Anyhow, I've had this book for years on my shelf, and actually it's been on my desk for some reason. I don't know why it came down. The Spirit Movement, called The Warrior of the Light by Paulo Coelho. Um, and he wrote The Alchemist and several other books that I love. He's one of my favorite authors. The Alchemist, in fact, a book I go back to about every 2 years and reread. We all have those books that we just enjoy. Maybe we don't. But yeah, this is like it's a manual, short notes on accepting failure, embracing life, and rising to your destiny. So I just flipped the pages open and said, Tuesday with Pastor Dan, let's see what happens. And so we'll call it no coincidence and we'll go with this. So I'm going to read you this thing and we'll talk about it real quick. A warrior of the light knows his own faults, but he knows his own qualities. Some of his companions complain all the time that other people have more opportunities than we do. Perhaps they are right, but a warrior does not allow himself to be paralyzed by this. He tries to make the most of his virtues. He knows that the gazelle's power lies in his strong legs, the power of the seagull lies in the accuracy with which it can spear a fish. He has learned that the reason the tiger does not fear the hyena is because he is aware of his own strength. He tries to establish what he can truly rely on, and he always checks what he carries. He always checks that he carries three rings with him: faith, hope, and love. If those three things are there, he does not hesitate to go forward. It's kind of my sermon this last Sunday that faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love, and in that, but that struck me because the beginning of it knows his failures, knows her strengths, and that's it. I often say when we come to the communion table that we know who we are and whose we are. And I don't know that we as people, um, people of faith, do enough introspection to know who we are. What is our gift? What are our strengths? I am not always the best, or most time, at administrative tasks. It's not a gift of mine. Um, I am not a good writer. I know that. There's a reason that the newsletters are every like once a quarter have something written because we've shifted to what I am good at. I know what my strength is as an orator. This is something I'm pretty good at on the fly or whatever. I have that ability. I've been given that gift. Um, just to name a couple, but we know those strengths and those weaknesses, and we know where we are, and we don't then envy or slip into jealousy or covet or those things that cause us to worry and to have anxiety and to have fear. And so then all of a sudden, the warrior of the light or the leader or whoever we are, we stop having this fear. And so we check for those three rings that are in our pockets or wherever we happen to have them, of faith, hope, and love, right? Faith that guides us, that we don't have fear. This love that really moves in our lives. I talked about in my sermon, the most important of them, that we do those things with this profound self-giving love. And then we go on with hope. We're not paralyzed by the opportunities that others have or the scarcity, but we continue on because we know who we are. And as people of faith, we know who we are in light of who Christ was and Christ is, um, and who Christ promises to be in us and moving through us. The self work that it takes to be a faithful person is hard, but yet it is incredibly valuable and worthwhile. And so when we do it, we begin to boldly move forward and in ways that we could never imagine in my mind, at least where who we can be, and we will see just the levels of with wonder and the success and the beauty and who we can be, but then who others are around us, and we can encourage them in these things. Um, Maybe go forth as warriors of the light to know our gifts, our strengths, but also to know our failures, our our weaknesses, and then move forward in spite of those into the strengths to be who we are and who we're called to be. Forward to seeing y'all soon.